I don't know what to think about this. Extend the Bush tax cuts, unemployment benefits. They're arguing about it down in D.C. Let's just get...
It's somehow all tied together.
Apparently they are. Should they be? Financial expert Joe Murray, they're talking about this compromise. First of all, who should we be rooting for? People who want to extend the tax cuts or those who don't want to?
How about we root for a change? Why don't we root for, like, the American citizen? Let's get crazy here. Let's talk about the people that are basically paying these people in Washington. Let's vote for the people. So what should we be doing? I think you're going to be seeing, this is going to end up the way most people saw it happening anyway. They'll extend the Bush tax cuts.
Yeah.
It's going to come into play for everybody.
For everybody.
For everybody, because this happens to be an equal society. So they're going to try to do that.
But for how long?
Well, I think that the piece where they're going to have some flexibility is going to be for the duration of time that they're going to extend those cuts. And that's going to be the piece that's going to allow the Democratic side to come back in and say, okay, but if we're going to do this, then you need to give us the extension on the unemployment benefits. Now, unemployment benefits, this is the Christmas season, and you got to be pretty nasty to say no to this.
Especially when you...
That's what I think.
Yeah.
We said this last week.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a rough time. I mean,
Like
how do you do that?
That is a rough call. If you're asking to give a break to people making $1 million or more, but no to you people out of work.
Yeah, when you look like Santa Claus in a suit, how do you sit here and say, come on?
And especially since we looked at the unemployment numbers.
Yeah.
You know,
Went
that
up
just
a little
came
bit.
out.
They're back
around
up.
10%. Yep.
Yeah, so I mean, it's one of those deals. So I think what you're going to see is you're going to see the unemployment benefits being continued. You'll see the tax cuts continued for everyone. Again, I do agree that it won't be a permanent one. I think it's going to be another time frame that they'll throw on it. But it's going to be acceptable to both parties. I'm just looking forward to this just stopping.
You know, the Ronald Reagan's tax, our financial czar, and I've lost his name, Stockman. Stock, of course. People get into the business that their name leads them to. He goes, there shouldn't be any extension of the tax cuts for anybody.
Right. Well, that's because you've got a couple of situations. Number one, he's looking at it very logically. There's a huge debt, a huge deficit going on each year. And if you can't watch what you spend, then you got to raise more money. It's the old-fashioned thing. If you look at your home budget, okay, your home budget, you don't have the flexibility to create more money.
Does he have a point?
Well, he's got a point there, but the problem is you got to give on both sides on that one to make it work. You can't just do it one side or the other. You can't just say, let's get rid of the tax cuts, raise the taxes for everybody, and then keep spending.
Are they really
You can't
raising
do that.
taxes, though, or we go back to where they were? Where they're not reduced at all?
Perception.
Perception.
Perception. You've had 10 years of having, this is the lowest tax history, by the way, the lowest tax brackets in history.
Yes.
So if you take it back to where they were, think about this just for a second. If you're in a 36% tax bracket, the top tax bracket,